Golden. I'm listening to his live stream today, and it was on this very, very topic of why are most black people broke, right? And I'm gonna play some excerpts from that live stream. But in the meantime, I want you all to check it out. Go to YouTube and listen to the full interview itself. These are some things that I'm going to bring out the live stream that they stressed upon. Number one, life insurance. One thing that they brought out in that live stream is that the Catholic Church, right, put its members, or they have this in place for the members that choose to participate in it, on life insurance, right? And whether these members leave the church, they can opt out to tithe, and they can agree upon life insurance because the church, upon this person's death, will get a bigger benefit. The church will, uh, than what they would have gotten from tithe anyway. Now, why was this important to me in that interview with Myron Golden? Is because most people don't know that the Catholic Church is also the church institution that created the tithes. The Catholic Church, and I know you're going to tell me Queen tithing is in the Bible. The Catholic Church did not create tithes. Listen, the Catholic Church would go around and tell people that if you pay me your tithes, you will go to heaven. Now, most people have not for themselves. They've heard a cliff note from a pastor who taught tithe into them. Most people for themselves have not read the book itself on tithing. Because if they would have read all of Malachi, not just chapter 3 that it talks about tithing, they would have known that number one, that message was to the priest, and also all throughout the book of Malachi, God was very upset with the priests. In fact, if you read Malachi chapter 2, it tells God says he will throw dung from the animal feast in their face, or from the feast that they were doing. They were having festivals, and from the animal feces, or animal dung, he would throw it in their faces because he was so upset with them. And he would throw animal poop in their faces from their festivals. That was in Malachi chapter 2. Also, if you reference Melchizedek and Abraham, you will see that tithing was always done after the blessing was received. So, for example, if you're a giver and you receive a big significant blessing from your giving, then you would tithe 10%. So, with that being said, Abraham went to war first, received the blessing, and then gave a 10% of honor to Melchizedek, the tithe, the high priest. In addition to, in Malachi 3, the priests, right? The priests were told, were given land from God as covenant, and then told to sow into their own land first, and then tithe to the Levite 10%. So tithing was always a result of after the blessing. You can go fact check that, read it yourself. It was never to get the blessing. Many people have been preached to that if you tithe, you give God your 10%, that God will open up the windows and pour you out a blessing you will not have room enough to receive, when that was not the context of that scripture. So now, back to what Queen, you might be asking me, what does that have to do with, what does tithing and the Catholic Church and getting insurance policies from his members? Whether listen, and you can even leave the church. You can even leave the church, and the Catholic Church will still have your insurance policy. They will pay for it, and upon your death, they will have the rights and the render the benefits. That's perfectly legal. But I'm giving you the whole spectrum of the background of the Catholic Church and how tithing becomes such a widespread tradition in most churches that's where it originated from. The Catholic Church is the church that also took the ancient Egyptians, um, Dead Sea Scrolls, their writings, their information, their intellectual property, and decided what books to put in the Bible. And they decided upon 66 books. They did not decide to put all of the information in the Bible. So, when you study ancient Egyptian, then you know the source, the original source of what some of the Bible information was put in. But this is my point. This is my point, and I know I went around a long, roundabout way of saying that. Hello to you, Edward. And I hope this is not muzzled. The last time I did a live stream, the sound was muzzled. But in Malachi chapter 3, God told the priests, the children of Israelites who were the priests, to sow into their own soil first and then give the Levites 10%. This is why most um, people are broke. But as Myron Golden said, he made the title Black People because he know you'll click on it and watch it. And that's what I did too. I mimicked what he did, right? And you don't tie it to yourself first. A lot of people think that the book of Genesis is a story about creation. They really do. I was reading a book today, The Millionaires of Genesis, just about the millionaires of Genesis, from Abraham to Melchizedek to Ishmael to Isaac to Ruth, right? A woman millionaire. This is just in the book of Genesis, the millionaires, Jacob, that I just named from Genesis. And we cannot forget Adam and Eve, right? Which ancient Egyptian, that comes from Atum and Isis. Adam and Eve in ancient Egyptian original context is Atum and Isis. And a lot of people think that the Bible is a very spiritual religious book, meaning that and I don't think people understand what I'm saying when I say this. They take the Bible as something very spooky, something very spiritual, some deep thing I got to do. They often reference I'm in spiritual warfare. Um, when God never told us in the Bible um, to be, as Miles Monroe used to say, religious people always say, I'm fighting in the army of the Lord. He said God never told us to fight. Said he got angels and in place, right? And principles in place that will do the fighting for you. And what most people don't know is it is a lack of education. So they take the Bible as a very religious context, as a very spooky, spiritual, speaking in tongue to get the unknown done. When all you have to do is follow the principles. It's very practical. It's very practical. It's not a spooky spiritual book. It is very practical. And Adam, aka a Tom, is an allegory. Unfortunately, too, as well, a lot of people look at the people of the Bible as real people. They don't look at these people. These are allegories and metaphors that the Bible uses. And you might want to debate me, but there's been no evidence of certain things, certain events taking place. Like, for example, Noah's Ark. No one has found remains of the boat. There's been no, and I know religious people say, well, you got to walk by faith. You got to have faith. But everything from the dinosaurs that existed in past time, there have been remains and remnants. There has been evidence of such a thing, right? In fact, the Titanic boat or ship was bigger than Noah's Ark by size and dimension, right? And so the Bible is a very allegory book. and it gives you precise principles to practice. And maybe you want to believe that, Adam was not an allegory. Maybe you want to believe that Adam was a real person. That's fine. Maybe you want to believe the boat existed, Noah's boat. That's fine if that's what you want. You don't want to take the Bible as allegory. You want to take the Bible as these are real people and real events, and that's fine too. But my thing is, um, operate on the principles that the Bible tell you to do in a very practical way and not a spiritual spooky way, right? Stop looking for things to just manifest. For example, when you're not willing to manifest and invest in yourself. Adam a Tom was an example or is an example of the dirt, the rich soil, the rich substance of the universe that we all come from. And I often tell myself and repeat to myself that I am the rich substance of the universe. I am the rich substance of the universe. I am the rich substance of the universe. I come from the dirt. I come from the soil. I come from the infinite intelligence, the infinite power. I am the rich substance of the universe. And I attract all the rich and wealthy substances that the universe has for me now. Because the infinite God made me from the rich substance of the universe. And as a product of the rich substance of the universe, right, I'm not supposed to operate in this universe living paycheck to paycheck. See, most people, and Myron Golden said this, again, you all check out the interview. Most people mindset is to go to work, get paid, go to work, get paid, go to work, get paid. They don't have a mindset of um, work and get paid and get paid and get paid and get paid and get paid. Work and get paid and get paid and get paid and get paid and get paid. That means you can do the work one time and get paid multiple times. That means you can write a book one time and get paid multiple times. That means you can invest in real estate property or properties one time and get residual income. Most people don't know the difference between residual and passive income. Passive income is group economics through a network marketing system in which you and group get together and get paid passively and get paid and get paid off of past work. You can get paid in the present. I'm about to get paid in 34 minutes passively through work that I did in the past, but I'm still getting paid in the future tense. Meaning that I'm not always exchanging my time for money. I'm not always giving a whole lot of time and getting paid, then time, then get paid. No, I'm getting paid off things that I did in the past, and I'm still getting paid in the present tense. That's passive income. My real estate is residual income. The Bible talks about all of these. It talks about silver, gold, real estate, land, livestock, cattle. Those are practical things that the Bible is telling us. The book of Genesis, people, is a prosperity chapter. It is not about creation. It's about prosperity. It's about the rich substance in the universe. The creations, God said that the earth I have given unto mankind, but the highest heavens belong to the Lord. And people will not invest in themselves. You are the rich substance of the universe. You are from that same material that Tom and Eve, Adam and Eve and Isis come from. You are supposed to invest in yourself. Malachi 3. Invest in your soul first that God has given you and then give 10%. You all won't, many people will, and I won't say everybody, hopefully not my listeners, you will not invest in yourself. Listen, for example, people will join a network marketing opportunity. They will cancel that subscription before they cancel the subscription to Netflix or a cable or other subscriptions that's not adding any personal development, not feeding their mind financially, and in which they have no mentorship. Some people will give to a church, some churches, not all, that tell them that they are good ground when you see no evidence that that church is doing the principles that are feeding the poor, that's taking care of the orphanage children, that have community support in place. You see no evidence of that. But because someone tells you that they are good ground, let me tell you something, people. Wherever you plant your seed in, it will produce fruit. Why do you think money is called currency? Why do you think money is called currency? Money is a seed. Why do you think you can plant an apple seed and it will produce multiple apples, not just one? There's not one seed that this infinite God has created that will reproduce after its own kind and bring back just one. Every seed, and God made it, designed it this way. Every seed that you plant into good soil will bring back multiples. The reason why many black people and other people are broke because they will not plant seeds into themselves to learn about money and how money works. Robert Kiyosaki said it this way: savers are losers. Why would you save money when the government is printing it? And some people are not even saving money. When you look at the parable of Matthew 25, the parable of talents, the man that was told that he will be cast into outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, he at least had the mindset to save. But when the master returned, he called him wicked and lazy and evil. So what do you think? The Bible tells you, Luke 19 and 13, to do business until I come. What do you think for a lot of people that want the rapture to happen whenever there's times of economic depression? What do you think God would tell you if you didn't not have the mindset to invest money? Because in Matthew 25, the servant who had the mindset to save was called wicked, lazy, and evil. And he was cast into hell on earth, where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, into outer darkness. That lets you know that people that do not have a mindset to invest will live in hell on earth. That's called poverty. People will not invest in themselves. Listen, network marketing, businesses, if you're with the right business, is nothing more but personal development with a compensation plan attached. And people give up on that. They give up on that. They give up on themselves, and they give up on the opportunity to enrich their soul. And they are rich substance of the universe. All network marketing is, all having a good mentor is adding fertilizer to you and your brain. Because the reason why a lot of people are broke is because you have to deprogram, you have to reprogram yourself from that negative brainwashing that you've heard or that you've been exposed to over the years that has given you the poverty mindset in the first place. Right? You hang around five broke people, you will be the sixth one. You hang around five rich and wealthy people, you will be the sixth one. And another thing, people, someone put this comment on my YouTube, and thank you for that comment, that you first have to become rich before you become wealthy. Let me say that again. You first have to become rich before you become wealthy. Meaning that when people tell you, "Oh yeah, wealthy people pass on generational wealth through life insurance," that's true. But what they're not telling you is the real wealth is accumulated in those life insurance policies, or sometimes they call them reserve accounts. The same thing. They are accumulated by accumulating assets. The Rockefeller, the Rothschilds, those that had those life insurance policies from J.C. Penney, he built businesses. He built J.C. Penney's during the Depression. He had the cash value life insurance. He was rich already. He had the money to put into it so he can immediately borrow against to build the business and then pass that on tax free. Most people, for some reason, people cash value life insurance give you very little, or reserve accounts give you very little return on your interest. Very little interest. The money is being able to leverage it for the tax free wealth that you, or money that you pass on when you die, and the ability to build up enough cash value to borrow against it to get assets. But you have to be rich first. Most middle class people are marketed to this cash value life insurance and private reserve accounts the wrong way. I'm gonna ask you all this question. Would you rather have a paper asset or a tangible asset? A tangible asset means an asset that you can touch, see, and feel. Let me ask you again. Would you rather have a paper asset or a tangible asset? A tangible asset is an asset you can touch, see, and feel. Because most people are holding up these certificates and saying, I'm owning land and I'm owning this. And no, you're really not. I'd rather have a tangible asset. Now you might say, well, Queen, you talk about investing in crypto, or you talk about investing in stocks. Stocks and crypto, certain cryptos and certain stocks are not paper assets. Cryptocurrency and some stocks, depending on which one you're investing in, are backed by tangible products. Like Apple stock is backed by Apple products. So Apple stocks is a stock I would invest in. Verizon stocks are backed by Verizon products, tangible asset. Ethereum is backed by smart contracts. That's an asset I'm investing in. VeChain is backed by RFID chips and Louis Vuittons and different stores accepting it as payment. That is something I would invest in. Now you might ask me, well, Queen, what about Bitcoin? Why are you investing in Bitcoin? What tangible asset is that investing in? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Bitcoin is backed by the highest intellectual mind, just like gold, physical gold that you can think of. Because Bitcoin, no one since it's after 2009 has been able to um, manipulate Bitcoin. It is not, it can't be manipulated by the government. Whoever the genius behind Bitcoin is a pure genius. That's just like gold. You can fake gold. You can have fake gold, but gold is made by the supernova busting supernova star bursting in the sky. No man can make gold. No one can tamper with the nose in Bitcoin. And whoever this genius behind it, when you look at the math and you look at the operations of it, that's what it's the intellectual property cryptocurrency. And so the reason why a lot of black people are broke is because number one, they do not invest in themselves. They don't understand that they are the rich substance of the universe. They will tie to another man or church organization. Nothing wrong with giving to charities anyway. I want to put that out there. But just know what the charity is doing with your money. Know what programs they have in place so your money will be blessed. But most people will not invest in their own soil so they can multiply. Most people save money and most people spend money. They don't even save. All they do is work and pay bills. Spend. Right on the word spend, you see END. That means they put an end to their money. They don't invest in themselves. They don't invest in assets. Assets is anything that puts more money into your pockets. Anything that increases in value. Anything that increases your cash flow. That's why I have cash flow on the screen. Because I have an asset opportunity for leaders that want to invest in themselves, get the personal development, and increase their cash flow. People, I don't know if you all are noticing this, but we have roughly a little over 3.5 months left in this year. We have only approximately 15 weeks almost left in this year. And some people have done nothing. Listen, a tax refund for most blacks is the largest amount of money that they get in their hands. And most people, year after 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 year, 10,000 back, 11,000 back, 12,000 back, after year after year after year. PPP come in after year. Stimulus money comes in after year. Money from the government comes in after year after year after year. Never invest that money in anything. They spend it. They spend it. And then by May, they're broke again. Year after year after year after year after year. And December, they're taking out a loan against it and paying upfront fees for that just to go Christmas shopping, just to get things that they cannot afford because they don't have the money for it. Take out a loan against their tax refund and pay extra fees for that. Money that they're losing. And they do this year after year after year after year after year. Another thing, do you value your credit score? Do you value the interest rates on the things that you finance? Does it matter to you if you pay a 10, 11, 12%, 8%, 9% interest rate? Are you making Wall Street richer? Are you making the banks richer because you're paying them high interest rate because you're choosing to? See, it's the difference between a choice and a decision because you're choosing to live with bad credit because credit can be fixed if you invest in it, right? It can be fixed, which texting cash flow to the number on the screen helps you fix credit as well or helps you get your credit fixed. People perish because of lack of knowledge, and then they perish because they don't want to apply knowledge. Once they come to knowledge of things, right, they want to talk about all the deep spiritual things of the Bible. They want to have conversation and discussion about is it Yahweh or Yeshua. They want to get all in an entanglement with it. They want to have all these But my question to you is, after all your intellectual Bible conversations, I made a post on Facebook yesterday that said every millionaire had one thing in common. And I think some people got offended, but I didn't mean it offensively. And I said it wasn't Jesus. I said every millionaire in the Bible had one thing in common, and it wasn't Jesus. Because we know that everybody rich in the Bible didn't profess to be a Christian. It was some people that were rich and evil in the Bible. But there was some rich Christians in the Bible too. I just named them. Right? And just in Genesis. Just in Genesis. Ruth, Jacob, Ishmael, Melchizedek, the mystical millionaire. Right? Abraham. Just in the book of Genesis, I can name at least 7 or 8 rich people. Rich, very rich. In fact, the Bible says Abraham was very rich in silver, cattle, and land and livestock. That's the formula right there. The book of Genesis is just a prosperity. It's not about creation. It's about prosperity. And it gives you the formula to get rich and wealthy. Get you some land, get you some silver, get you some gold. Don't tell me you cannot afford silver right now. It's less than $24 an ounce. And get you some real estate, some real dirt. Not a paper certificate. Nothing wrong with paper certificate. But I'm just telling you, every millionaire in the Bible had this thing in common. They were all business owners and they all had assets. From Lydia in the New Testament, even the Apostle Paul was a tent maker. That was his business. From Aquila and Priscilla. But people want to make the Bible, religious people want to make the Bible a very spooky, deep, Hashabakayalabasaka. Come on, people. It's very practical. It's very practical. I got to pray about this opportunity. I got to pray about this business. Nothing wrong with praying for wisdom. But I'm just giving you the formula for prosperity in the Bible, the Bible's way, the best way. Have you some asset and have a business. I have a job, nothing wrong with a job, but a job was just my level one of getting passive income. That job was that capital for me to do that. It wasn't my future. I never approached my job as this is my financial future. This is the end all be all. Because even in the 401k, you do understand you're going to get taxed 40%, right, to live off of when you retire. You do that, right? Uh, you have a question about your car being repoed. Ugh. Text the question to 254-278-1144. And so also the Bible talks about taxes as well. Why do you all think that Jesus had a tax collector with him out of the 12 disciples? And when they came to Jesus and said, do the king kid, and Jesus asked Paul, do the king kids pay taxes? And he said, no. He said, but we're going to pay taxes. So we won't be offending them. And he said, I want you to go get the gold coin out of the fish mouth and pay my taxes and yours. I mean, Peter, because Peter had a business. So he had to pay Peter's business taxes and his taxes. God had tax strategies in place. People, if you're working a job, you're taxed 30% on your money. If you don't change that, you're not going to change your financial future. You don't change your credit to keep and maintain good credit, and then from that point learn how to leverage and use credit to get assets. Your financial future is not going to change. In fact, it might get worse. How my major says, get those tangibles. Get tangible assets or get digital assets that's backed by tangible things. Jesus had a tax strategy. See, the Bible is very practical. Tax strategies. Jesus' disciples operated businesses. Every millionaire in the Bible were entrepreneurs. And then Genesis give you the assets. It's so many other assets. Lydia, she was the seller of purple linen. Look at the Proverbs 31st woman. Look how many business transactions she was doing. The Bible is a book about banking, people. It's a book about prosperity. It's a book about telling you that you are the rich substance of the universe. You are the made from the same oil and dirt that Adam was made from, and that you have created geniuses in you, just like in the book of Genesis. The kingdom of heaven is in you, and you have to invest in your own soul, your mind, your skills, your talents, and you're going to have to get a business. Even if you have a job, you need a part-time business. And that's the beauty of network marketing. Get your credit straight, and you're going to have to take that money out of your job and invest it in a business that invests in you and your personal development that comes with a compensation plan. And then you'll have to take that money that you generate from the business and that you save in taxes with the home-based business. I've been telling you all about the tax savings. And you're going to have to take that money and start investing. Stop spending it and stop saving. So if you all came in at the end, watch the beginning of this when I talk about the Catholic Church and where the origin of tithing comes from, that was manipulated, and how the Catholic Church have life insurance policy on their members to keep wealth within the Catholic churches, and why you should implement this. Cash value life insurance is not for the middle class, it is for the rich. But when you get rich, when your assets, with whether it be your crypto, your stocks, your silver, your home-based business, your rental properties, when those start creating you 6, 7 figures of cash flow, now we want to convert our policy into tax-free wealth to pass on generational, and then we want to dump thousands in it so we can borrow against and get more tangible assets. As Jay-Z would say, that's how you rinse it. All right, you all, I'm gonna go live later on in front of my laptop. I hope you all can hear me good. I hope this wasn't sounding muffled. If it is, I'm gonna have to buy me some more earpiece. But I'm gonna break down Myron Golden's Why Black People Are Broke, and tune in. I'm gonna shoot for 6 o'clock, which is approximately about 2 more hours from now. So subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get the notification. Hit that like and share button. And if you need cash flow and credit help, text 254-278-1144 to increase your cash flow and credit scores. Queen out. You all be safe. Peace.